I often get asked whether children can follow the Hallelujah diet, and the answer is a definite yes, with special considerations. So today I'm going to be quoting from the Vice President of Health of Hallelujah Acres, Olin Idle, who is also a naturopathic doctor. I'm going to be quoting from his book, Pregnancy, Children, and the Hallelujah Diet. As the young child is transitioning to more solid foods and less breast milk, there are some areas that deserve special consideration. First of all, protein. It is important to ensure that there is an adequate amount of protein in the diet. While all of our fruits and vegetables contain some protein, it is important to include liberal amounts of green vegetables, whole grains, legumes, and raw nuts and seeds, which are better digested in the form of nut butters and nut milks in the growing child's diet. They are in the growing process and require more protein than adults. Almonds and Brazil nuts are the best of the nuts since they actually leave an alkaline ash when assimilated. Peanuts, which are not nuts but rather legumes, should not be used as they are susceptible to molds. Nut and seed butters can be made into a creamy spread by adding a little oil, such as flaxseed oil or Udo's Choice Preferred Oil Blend, or fruit juice or water. This can then be spread on celery sticks or used as a vegetable dip. Next is fat. Along with liberal amounts of protein, it is equally important to ensure there is an adequate amount of good fats in the child's diet. Fat is important in hormonal development, brain and retina development, bone growth, cell membrane integrity, and the assimilation of many vitamins and minerals. Sources of good fats are avocados, raw nuts and seeds, which are best made into nut butters, milks, and creams, Udo's oil, flaxseed oil, and fresh ground flax seed. That is ground within 30 minutes of use. The oils may be added to blended salads, mashed with a baked potato, spread on a piece of whole grain bread, drizzled on vegetables once the plate has been served. That means, in other words, do not cook vegetables with the oils, etc. They may be used in a variety of ways to ensure adequate intake of the essential fats. Walnuts are also an excellent source of the omega-3 fats, which support brain function. B12. It is necessary to ensure that there is a source of B12 in the diet of the child after he is weaned, as it is not readily available in our foods. Half of a sublingual methylcobalamin form of B12 added to the child's diet twice a week should prevent the development of a B12 deficiency. And of course, Hallelujah Acres has the methylcobalamin version, which is the more absorbable form. It's also cherry too, so it's good for children. I think it is. Vitamin D. Vitamin D is actually a hormone manufactured by our body when sunlight falls upon the skin. It is essential for the absorption of calcium and phosphorus, and is important for normal development of bones and teeth. With as little as an average of 15 minutes of sunlight daily, there should be no deficiency in this area. We must also remember that vitamin D made during the summer months can last through the winter, as it has been stored in the body by the liver. It is important to keep in mind that infants in northern climates with little exposure to sunshine may be in need of supplementation, especially African American babies, since the darker-skinned individuals may need up to 6 times the exposure to sunlight to make adequate amounts of vitamin D. So those are your special considerations for children. And today's snack is simply a handful of walnuts. But I want to share with you the best way to eat all nuts for better digestion. So think about it. You take a bite of an apple and you put it on the counter, and the enzymes in that apple start to break it down and eventually will turn it into mush. But if you put a bowl of nuts on the counter, they're going to sit there indefinitely. Why? Because God designed into them enzyme inhibitors. So the enzymes are not active like in the apple breaking it down. They are inhibited from breaking down the nut until that nut that has fallen from the tree the squirrel takes it over into a different environment where there's good soil and plenty of rain, so the environment to release those inhibitors and activate the enzymes, and then the walnut becomes a tree, you see. So after the enzyme inhibitors are released from the nut, then it becomes more digestible for us. And to make them more digestible, then you simply take your nuts and you soak them overnight. In the morning, rinse them off really well until the water becomes clear. So what I do with my nuts then is I put them in the dehydrator, make them crisp again, so they're now living nuts, and then put them in the freezer to use in salads or snacks. If you don't have a dehydrator, but you want to still have your digestible nut, then after you soak them overnight and rinse them well, you can store them in the fridge in water. And you may need to freshen the water regularly, but they could last in there for a week. You're going to know. So make sure you buy a good, organic, raw, unprocessed nut and enjoy your high-protein snack.